Welcome to Book Echo, where we break down a book in 15 minutes. Today we're discussing a highly influential book, 0 to 1. This isn't just any bestseller. It's a book that has changed many people's perspectives on innovation and entrepreneurship. Let's explore what makes this book so special. First, let's look at the background of this book. Have you heard of Peter Thiel? If you're familiar with the tech world, you surely have. He's a remarkable figure. Not only is he the co-founder of PayPal, but he was also the first external investor in Facebook. He's both a successful entrepreneur and a savvy investor, truly a legend in Silicon Valley. Thiel's book, 0 to 1, is essentially a compilation of his years of experience in entrepreneurship and investment shared with the public. When it was published in 2014, it immediately caused a sensation. Entrepreneurs and investors alike considered it a must-read. Many business schools even included it in their curricula. Why is this book so popular? Well, it challenges our traditional understanding of innovation and entrepreneurship. In an era that emphasizes rapid iteration and user experience, Thiel proposes a new perspective. Truly valuable companies are those that can create entirely new things, going from 0 to 1 rather than simply improving from 1 to 1.1. So, what's the core question this book aims to answer? Simply put, how do you build a great company that can create new things and sustain profitability? Sounds interesting, right? Let's delve into Thiel's core ideas and see how we can apply these concepts to real-world entrepreneurship and business practices. Now, let's discuss the core concepts of this book. First, we need to understand what 0 to 1 means. Thiel says human progress can be divided into two types: horizontal, which is from 1 to n, and vertical, which is from 0 to 1. Horizontal progress is about improvement and expansion on existing foundations, like replicating a product from one place to another. Vertical progress, on the other hand, is about creating something entirely new. Thiel believes that truly valuable innovation is always a leap from 0 to 1. Sounds a bit abstract, right? Let's use an example. Imagine transportation in the late 19th century, which was mainly horse-drawn carriages. If someone wanted to improve transportation, they might think of breeding stronger horses or designing lighter carriages. That's progress from 1 to n. But Henry Ford came up with something entirely new, the automobile. That's innovation from 0 to 1, which completely changed how humans travel. Thiel emphasizes that 0 to 1 innovations often seem strange because they challenge our conventional wisdom. When Ford first proposed the concept of the automobile, many thought it was a crazy idea. But it was this crazy idea that ultimately changed the world. Next, let's look at another important concept Thiel introduces: monopoly. You might frown at the word monopoly. In traditional economics, monopolies are often seen as bad because they can lead to price increases and decreased service quality. However, Thiel presents a completely different view. Good startups should aim to become monopolies. This view might sound a bit scary, but let me explain. The monopoly Thiel refers to isn't about gaining market control through unfair means, but about achieving a dominant position in a specific niche market through innovation and excellent products or services. He believes that only in a monopoly state can a company have enough profit to continue innovating and investing long-term. Let's look at an example. Google's dominant position in the search engine market allows it to continuously invest large amounts of money in developing new technologies like self-driving cars and artificial intelligence. If Google were just one of many search engines, it might not have the resources or motivation to explore these cutting-edge fields. So how can we build this kind of positive monopoly? Thiel proposes 4 characteristics: proprietary technology, network effects, economies of scale, and brand advantages. Among these, proprietary technology is the most crucial. A company must have some core technology or intellectual property that other companies can't easily replicate. For instance, Google's PageRank algorithm is its proprietary technology, making it difficult for other companies to match Google's search quality in a short time. What do network effects mean? Simply put, it's when the value of a product or service increases as more people use it. Facebook is a classic example. The more people use Facebook, the more valuable it becomes to each user because you can connect with more friends on it. Economies of scale refer to the decrease in unit cost as production scale increases. Amazon has utilized this well. Its massive scale allows it to purchase goods at lower prices, enabling it to offer more competitive prices. Lastly, brand advantage is an intangible but powerful asset. Think about Apple. Its brand represents innovation and high quality, allowing Apple to sell products at higher prices than competitors and maintain high profit margins. Understanding these concepts helps us better grasp what Thiel means by 0 to 1 innovation. It's not just about creating a new product or service, but about creating a new market and establishing a strong monopoly position within it. This is why Thiel believes entrepreneurs should pursue monopoly rather than competition. All right, we've just discussed the core concepts of 0 to 1. The next question is, how do we implement this kind of innovation in practice? Let's continue listening. First, Thiel emphasizes the importance of thinking. He says many people fall into the herd mentality, blindly following trends without really thinking about what they're doing. To achieve 0 to 1 innovation, we need to think independently and dare to challenge conventions. Thiel has an interesting interview question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? This question seems simple but is actually quite profound. It encourages us to think about issues that most people overlook or misunderstand. It's this kind of independent thinking that can lead to true innovation. Let's take an example. When most people thought the social network market was saturated, Snapchat's founders saw an overlooked need. Young people wanted a platform to share instant, ephemeral content. This unique insight ultimately led to Snapchat's huge success. Secondly, Thiel introduces the concept of secrets. Sounds mysterious, doesn't it? Actually, by secrets, he doesn't mean hidden information, but facts or insights that are right in front of us, but most people haven't noticed. Discovering secrets requires us to look at the world from new angles. For instance, Airbnb's founders discovered a secret. Many people have spare rooms, while others need short-term accommodation. This seemingly simple insight eventually changed the entire hotel industry. Thiel also particularly emphasizes the importance of the team. He says a successful startup should be like a small monarchy, not a democracy. This might sound controversial, but Thiel's point is that in the early stages of a company, there needs to be a clear vision and decision-making mechanism, rather than too much internal discussion and compromise. He uses PayPal as an example. In PayPal's early days, team members had clear divisions of labor and responsibilities, with each person being an expert in their field. This structure allowed the company to make quick decisions and execute efficiently. In contrast, some companies that adopt a completely flat management structure often get stuck in endless discussions, losing their agility in action. However, Thiel also emphasizes that this doesn't mean dictatorship or ignoring team members' opinions. On the contrary, a good founder should be good at listening, able to absorb different viewpoints, but also capable of making clear decisions. Finally, Thiel presents an interesting viewpoint. Good companies should be secret societies. Don't misunderstand, he doesn't mean companies should be mysterious, but that they should have their own unique culture and mission, creating a strong sense of belonging among employees. Take SpaceX, for example. It has a clear and grand mission to make humans a multiplanetary species. This mission makes SpaceX employees feel they're not just doing a job, but participating in an endeavor that will change the future of humanity. This strong sense of mission and belonging can inspire employees' creativity and work enthusiasm, thus driving the company to achieve 0 to 1 innovation. At this point, you might ask, how can these ideas be applied in practice? Let's talk about the challenges you might face in real-world application. First, Thiel emphasizes that 0 to 1 innovation doesn't mean creating a completely revolutionary product. Instead, he suggests starting with a small, specific market. Does this advice sound a bit contradictory to the idea of creating something entirely new? Actually, it's a very practical strategy. Let's look at PayPal's example. PayPal wasn't initially a payment platform for everyone, but focused on auction payments on eBay. This market was small, but had clear demand and less competition. By establishing an advantage in this small market, PayPal gradually expanded to other areas, eventually becoming a global leading online payment platform. The key to this strategy is to become the dominant player in a small market, then gradually expand. This not only reduces initial risks, but also allows you to get user feedback faster and continuously improve your product. For instance, Uber initially operated only in San Francisco and only started expanding to other cities once the model was mature. Secondly, Thiel proposes the concept of the last mover advantage. Sounds a bit confusing, doesn't it? Actually, he means that a truly successful company should be able to dominate its field, becoming the last company to enter that market. This might sound contradictory because we usually think first mover advantage is important. But Thiel's point is that what's really important is not being the first to enter the market, but being the last, meaning your product or service is so good that latecomers can't surpass it. Let's take an example. Google wasn't the first search engine. Yahoo, Alta Vista, and others came before it. But Google's search algorithm was so excellent that later competitors found it hard to pose a threat. This is the embodiment of the last mover advantage. However, achieving 0 to 1 innovation is not easy. It faces many challenges. One of the biggest challenges is how to make the right decisions in the face of uncertainty. Innovation means entering unknown territory, which inevitably comes with a high degree of the uncertainty. Thiel believes that in the face of uncertainty, we need a clear vision and firm belief. He uses Tesla as an example. When Elon Musk decided to make electric cars, almost everyone thought it was a crazy idea. But Musk had a clear vision. He believed electric cars were the future, and he had the ability to make electric cars that people truly wanted. It was this firm belief that allowed Tesla to persist through numerous difficulties and ultimately change the entire automotive industry. Another important challenge is how to balance long-term vision and short-term goals. 0 to 1 innovation usually requires long-term investment, but companies must also survive in the short term. Thiel suggests that companies should have a long-term grand vision, but also set a series of milestones that can be achieved in the short term. For example, Amazon's long-term vision is to become Earth's most customer-centric company, but in its early days, they focused on doing well in the online bookstore business. By succeeding in this area, Amazon accumulated funds and experience, then gradually expanded to other fields. This approach allowed Amazon to pursue its long-term vision while also making significant progress in the short term. Finally, Thiel reminds us to be wary of the success trap. What does this mean? It means that when a company achieves success in a certain field, it's easy to fall into fixed thinking patterns and become unwilling or afraid to try new innovations. This is why many large companies are eventually disrupted by emerging startups. Let me give you an example. Remember Kodak? It was once a giant in the film industry, but it failed to transition to the digital camera field in time and was eventually eliminated from the market. In contrast, although the iPod was very successful, Apple didn't rest on its laurels. Instead, it continued to innovate and launched the iPhone, ushering in the era of smartphones. Therefore, even successful companies need to maintain the spirit of 0 to 1 innovation. This requires companies to establish a culture that encourages innovation and tolerates failure. Google's 20% time policy is a good example. It allows employees to use 20% of their work time on projects they're interested in, and this policy has given birth to innovative products like Gmail and Google News. All right, let's summarize the main content of this book. 0 to 1 provides us with a brand new perspective on innovation and entrepreneurship. Its core ideas can be summarized as follows. First, truly valuable innovation is a leap from 0 to 1. Creating something unprecedented rather than just improving existing things. This kind of innovation often seems strange because it challenges our conventional wisdom. Second, good startups should aim to become monopolies, but this monopoly is achieved through innovation and excellent products or services. Only in a monopoly state can a company have enough profit to continue innovating and investing long-term. Third, achieving 0 to 1 innovation requires independent thinking and challenging conventions. We need to discover secrets that most people overlook and look at the world from new angles. At the same time, a strong team and unique company culture are also key to achieving innovation. Finally, 0 to 1 innovation faces many challenges, including how to make the right decisions in the face of uncertainty, how to balance long-term vision and short-term goals, and how to avoid falling into the success trap. Addressing these challenges requires firm belief, clear strategy, and a culture of continuous innovation. Thiel's views have important implications for entrepreneurs, investors, and even managers of large companies. In this rapidly changing era, only continuous innovation can maintain competitiveness. And true innovation is not simply following trends, but daring to challenge conventions and create entirely new things. However, we should also note that not all innovations need to be disruptive. In many cases, incremental innovation can also bring tremendous value. The key is to choose the appropriate innovation strategy based on your own situation and market needs. 0 to 1 is not just a guide to entrepreneurship, but also a philosophical work on how to think about the future. It inspires us to look at the world from new perspectives and encourages us to discover and create new things that can drive human progress. Whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee in a large company, this book can bring you new thoughts and inspirations. That's all for today's sharing. I hope this book can bring you some new ideas and make you more innovative in your work and life. If you found this helpful, feel free to recommend it to your friends. See you next time.